This is Red Moon role-playing.
Masks of Nyarlathotep. Where last we left our group, just over half of them had been traumatized by a rapidly expanding man on the docks of the Hudson. Another had been having a splendid time, sipping tea and cocktails with Erica Carlyle. Yes, it was a tale of two halves in this case. Madelyn and Felix, it seems, were nearly consumed, suffocated, or broken, maybe a combination of all three, by Arthur Emerson at Emerson Imports, a man who claimed he had been changed by Silas and Kwani of the Guju House, a place that seems central to Jackson Elias's current predicament, namely his incarceration at Sing Sing. It seems that change incorporated something magical, because there is certainly no natural way that he could have suddenly, rapidly expanded in that way, and the question on your minds at some level is going to be, has he returned to his normal form? Has he been discovered like that? Has he just continued expanding and is now spilling into the Hudson? What is the aftermath of an event like that? Right now, while that is a niggling concern, you could say, it isn't the pressing one. The pressing one is still the Guju House, because Madelyn Hopper, you were invited to an evening of concerned black citizens at a place called Fat May Bells on 139th. This may be the golden opportunity for you to play distraction, while Felix and Shelby break into the Guju House and find out what they can find. And so we return to the group just ahead of said operation. You're all together, including, it should be noted, Rupert and Arturo. You need to consider what your move is. I turn it over to you, players. Any last moments of preparation, speak now.
Well, I am definitely getting my gun, that's for one thing.
And I too will go in armed. And of course, I need to ensure that I have some equipment to be able to break into the Guju House. What I would perceive as being necessary to do a break-in. Perhaps a crowbar, some general tools, gloves, so I can smash a window or something like that without cutting myself too badly. Things of that nature. And a bag to put the things that we are, well, not quite going to steal, but, I mean, maybe we will want to bring something with us.
Rupert clears his throat. What exactly are you thinking of stealing from that place? I don't ask that sitting in judgment, obviously. I know that this is necessary as part of the scheme, he says, still flicking through the books you were given from Erica Carlyle's place, Shelby. But is there an article, a weapon, a signed confession that says it was I what did it?
It would be good if we could find something like that, I say, smiling. Honestly, it's difficult to know for sure, but there should be some kind of proof of dealings that Nkwane has had with, well, cults, or perhaps some of the people that we have met thus far, perhaps even going back to Peru. And I'll look to Madelyn and to Shelby.
I nod enthusiastically in agreement. Yes, anything that would bridge the gap between... anything that will get us closer to exonerating Jackson. That could be any type of connection between the Guju House and local politicians, the police department here, especially, and I just refuse to say his name in a moment. I'm just going to skip right past that officer's name in just pure frustration and ire. Erica Carlyle, any type of connections there would be valuable. He had an office in the back. There may be something there, anything that ties to this cult.
There was also the sigil that was found carved in the face of the corpse. If we could find that sigil somewhere on the premises, that would certainly be a good connecting piece of information.
Arturo nods at that and says, and when we have this evidence, where are we presenting it? Are we taking it to the NYPD?
No, we would have to take it to Jackson's attorney.
Yes.
If we can make a formidable case, it'd be his responsibility to defend it.
And perhaps we can also get, a copy to the New York Times. See if we can't get the media on it. That might also help.
You do know that Rebecca Schosenberg is particularly interested in this case, this series of murders, and has been reporting on it for some time, so that's not a bad idea at all. And likewise, presenting any evidence you find to his solicitor will at least provide Jackson with a line of security between he and the police. Once something is in the hands of a lawyer, it's likely to be copied, and originals retained, and be able to be proliferated to other concerned legal minds. So yeah, good plan. Bypass the police until strictly necessary, because at some point they will need to get involved. But if you can get him cleared without their presence, that would be quite a coup.
Indeed.
And boys, just as a reminder, try not to draw attention or make as much noise as possible. There are dozens of eyes on that shop. Even at this time of night, that community is going to be active. Just breaking windows, especially as white boys in Harlem. Just be careful breaking and entering into that shop.
Noted. Yeah. Try to be careful.
Okay, I'm going to head to Fat Maybell's. I don't want to go there alone. I think I'm going to see if Mose is around. That sounds like his scene. He may be there anyways. He may actually be a guest there anyways. I don't know, but I don't want to go into that situation alone. I don't necessarily want someone involved. I just don't want to go alone.
And I promise this isn't out of cowardice, boys, but I feel like a 4-man break-in in a predominantly black quarter of New York, given... And he gestures at the two of you and then at he and Arturo. Our complexion, I think, would stand out more than lean on the side of discretion. I suspect it would be best if the two of us remained here researching these books you were given, Shelley, and we'll find out what we can find.
Yeah, if you could actually see if you could find more connections to that Montgomery Crompton name you found.
Pleased to do so, he says with a smile, feeling useful. Madelyn, after dressing the part and wincing as you do so, your chest hurts. You're fairly certain one of these ribs is broken. There's not going to be much you can do about it beyond bed rest, and tonight is not a time for bed rest. You swing by Mo's place first. And sure enough, his wife rolls her eyes as soon as you ask for him. You know he's out playing, Madelyn. You know he's out tonight. If he's not playing dice, he's off reading someplace.
I am going to lean into the door frame and look as not innocent as possible, but almost as empathetic as possible. I'm just going to knock my head into the wood. Favorite hangouts? Please? If I'm lucky, I can send him home early.
If you're lucky, that's a very good way to put it. Would you like to spend a point of luck so that one of the names she reels off is Fat Maybell's?
Yes. I will bleed that point of luck for us, Matthew. Let's go together.
Elsa reels off a list of names, and one of them is Fat Maybell's. And then she taps her cheek with her forefinger. Yeah, that's where he's at tonight. That's for sure. It's a mixed place, you know, she says with a shrug. But tonight, it's blacks only. Informal, you understand, but people get the idea when they turn up in the doorway and see a predominantly brown-faced crew looking back at them.
I nod, my eyes roll as I'm thinking, puzzle piecing, putting things together. Okay. No, that's really helpful. Thank you. Hey, how long has Mo's been heading out to Fat Maybell's? Is that something new? Is it something that he's been on for some time?
Oh, the crowd there don't really pay for his poetry so well, so he's only here and there. But ever since the committee started meeting up there, he's been there a little more often, at least twice a week.
Committee?
Oh, honey, you've been outside of the city, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
She leans on the railing, twirls her finger. You know this is a rehearsed bit. No doubt many people have asked her, especially people looking to get their money back. Where's Mose at? And she's had to go through the list of names, explain about Fat Maybells, and here she is again. The Committee for the Rights of Black Men and Women of New York. They think there's some kind of underground railroad of the city. They think they're going to help people like us take a step up and get those of us who are treated harshly, treated badly, out from under the thumb of, well, you know who. So they're organising. And I mean they're organising irrespective of their employers. They're forming like a guild or something like that, so that they can march together, sing together, speak together, and when one of them refuses to work, the rest of them refuse to work. I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, the immigrants constantly flowing in. I mean, if all of us stop working, what are they going to do? They're not going to shut down their businesses. They'll just start hiring Italians. But that's just me, she says, folding her arms.
I give her all the space necessary to have this practiced demonstration. She looks good doing it. And also I know there's benefits to having an audience to that type of grief and frustration. I nod, I smile, I bob my head a bit, I wince. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Honey, you look to be in pain.
Oh.
Do you need something?
Actually, and then I'm going to ask for whatever the equivalent of 1930s anti-inflammatory or pain relief.
I've got some great laudanum.
No, but I'll take anything like, I know her and I don't know her properties. Would she have an anti-inflammatory tea that I know that she's known for, or herbal mix or something like that? Like, oh, if you have any of that blah, blah, blah tea, that would be spectacular.
I got just the thing for you, honey. You wait here. Take a seat, she says, gesturing at the stoop. Doesn't invite you in. Enters. Her place is gone for 2 minutes. Emerges again. It's not a tea, but there's some powder, and she has it in just a small bottle. You put a dab of this on your tongue. Wherever the pain is in your body, just floats away. Just don't take too much of it. Just a dab on your tongue. You know, like sherbet.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May I? Because I don't necessarily need to take the entire bottle unless that's what she's offering. If that's what she's offering, I'm definitely going to take it.
I got bottles of the stuff. Ugh. You know how my back plays up these days.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm just going to do the thing where I wince and pull myself up from the stoop and do the over-exaggerative kissing her on both sides of the cheek. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's nothing. But if you see Mose, you remind him of something for me, okay? You tell him there's no point hanging with people like that. Remind him he's a poet. He doesn't work down at the docks or in some factory. If they all quit because they ain't getting paid well enough, who's he standing shoulder to shoulder with? He's a poet. He goes to bars, stands on street corners. That's how he earns a living. He ain't got no union, nothing like that. And she tuts again, clucks, and heads back inside.
I take a deep breath. I roll my eyes, and I can only think to myself just how funny this entire exchange is. He's a poet. What the hell am I going to be able to say to him that his wife couldn't say to him? She married a poet. And just that entire dynamic in that moment just feels wholesome and grounding. I smile. I am going to dab some of this powder on my tongue, and then I am going to head to Fat Maybells.
Can I ask you to make a con roll?
That's a 22 under... Hey, it's a hard success. 22 under 50.
Fantastic. The pain does indeed go away within minutes of walking at that. Yeah, this is a fast-acting drug. You need to know the name of her dealer.
Wow. Okay, noted.
I'm sure she buys it totally legitimately in a local pharmacy, and in fact, in the era, probably does.
Hey, just really curious. How many doses would you say is in this bottle?
I would say you've got a good... If you're just doing a dab of the fingertip, a good 20 doses. More than enough to cover the breakage of ribs.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, if any of you ever end up something like disemboweled or missing a limb and needing to soldier on despite that, carrying a major wound, take the whole bottle and you might get through a few more rounds. That's my advice. Well, Fat May Bells lives up to its reputation. It is indeed a sleazy speakeasy. It dresses itself up as a coffee shop, and no doubt in daily hours that's exactly what it is. But this evening, the lights within are low. There are fellas sat around on the curb outside, lighting up or having a drink from their brown paper bags. No one pays you no never mind, Madelyn. You can walk straight in. This isn't the kind of place where the cops are likely to raid unless they have a good cause. That's not to say they don't feel like they have a good cause. In part of a city like Harlem, indeed, the cops might swing by at any time, just for the fun of it. But the guys here, and it is mostly guys, there are some women around, but it's mostly working men, you'd say. They seem relaxed. There are no lookouts just peering out the window in case the cops show up. It is very easy to see what is taking place here, not just the drinking, but the organising. Many tables have been shoved together into the centre of the room, and at the head of that table a man is stood. You don't recognise him. He is quite slim. He has a very neatly shorn haircut. He looks like he works in the city, as in he is wearing a white shirt, he has a black tie, and a charcoal suit jacket. He could be a city worker, he could be a preacher, for that matter. The only difference is he doesn't have a dog collar on. There are a lot of black men and women sat at the table at which he stands, looking up at him, nodding along whenever he speaks, occasionally thumping the table in agreement. There's some laughter, there's some gasps. He is clearly holding church. Not everyone at Fat May Bells is a part of this congregation, but Silas and Kwani is sat near the opposite end of the table, and seems to be as caught up in it as the rest of the small crowd.
Is Mose at this table as well?
Mose is sat off by himself. He has a book. His spectacles are perched on his nose. He has a drink. It is in a coffee cup, but you're sure that's not just coffee in there?
I'm sure.
He doesn't notice you enter.
As I walk in and I'm getting almost the emotional landscape of this environment, I'm just going to default to that inherent safety mechanic that I have inside, which is if I can identify the ebb and flow of power, emotion in this room, I may be able to navigate it better. So if I may, can I beg for a psychology check just to metabolize and internalize what I'm witnessing as I approach with this individual with the white shirt, the dynamics between he and Kwame and this entire table?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, sweetie. This is it's another 22, 27. Nope, that's another 22. That's exactly a hard success.
Excellent. Okay, there's a few things you pick up on. There's a small bandstand on a stage here, and it is vacated. The instruments are present, but there is no band in play. They're probably sat around, enjoying this show. And what you gather is, in a place like this, music is central to drawing people in. That means this guy is what constitutes entertainment instead. He has probably forbade the playing of musical instruments while he is speaking because there is significant attention on him. The reverence with which people hold him is not what you might consider cultist. They are not staring at him as if hypnotized. They are more impassioned, emotive, and so is he. And you can hear his voice clearly enough. He is speaking about the rights of the black man. He is speaking about the rights of the worker. And he is speaking about the tyranny of the white men of New York City. And it is galvanizing a great many of the people here. Mose and, as I say, several others. They are listening out of the corner of their ear, so to speak. They may not want to be seen as part of this crowd, but they are definitely here for the show, even when they're pretending not to be. Whoever this man is, he is holding court.
He is holding court. Okay, perfectly. I'm going to metabolize all of that information as quickly as I can. I am going to move to the skirts of this group, and I'm just gently going to tap Mose on his right shoulder and then just gently knock my forehead into his on his left, more or less just indicating, hey, I'm here. So there's some shared acknowledgement.
Oh. He quickly tucks his spectacles away, closes his book, hasn't marked the page because clearly he wasn't paying much attention to it. Maddie.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Well, I was invited here. And also your wife told me that you were here.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Ah, shit. I'm just gonna knock him gently on his head again, and I'm gonna pull up a chair next to him.
Ah, shit. He drinks the contents of his mug and goes to stand up. I better get home. I better not hang here. I guessing she sent you with a message for me.
Yeah, but you're not gonna want to hear it. But she knows you're here.
Okay. All right. Okay. He sits down again. I'm gonna be catching the same earful of grief whether I go home now or whether I go home in 2 hours.
That's likely true, Mose. What's going on here? And I'm being very low and polite as not to disrupt what's happening not far from us.
Oh, yeah, he says, lowering his voice. Have you seen that guy before? He gestures at the man in the suit.
No, but everything about that presence tells me that I would remember if I had. Who is he?
He's a good speaker, I'll tell you that. If I could get him reading poems, my poems, whew, I wouldn't be on the breadline no more, that's for sure. They call him King David.
King David, really?
Yeah, like his first name's King and his last name's David, as far as I know. That's because he's always talking about, And he gestures an uppercut. Beating the hell out of Goliath, right?
Right. Okay.
He says he was a minister 10, 15 years ago to communities like ours, but outside of the city. And, well, he came to the city and he started working city work and he started blending with the white man in the city, And he started doing white man's work and he started doing that work better than the white man. And then he learned everything he could and he came back down to us and he started spreading the word with us. And Mose is gesticulating while he's telling this tale, like it is a poem, like it is a fabulous myth. And now he's here and he's looking to motivate us, energize us, make us, I guess, step up.
How long has he been around here, Mose? When did King David arrive?
Well, there were people talking about his arrival as a year ago, 6 months ago. I only first saw him about 3 months back, but he's already causing quite a stir. It's like he has disciples that lay the way for him, laying garlands on the floor for him to walk over so that when he arrives, he can be greeted as what he is, King David. I know it all sounds too much, but you listen to his words, you'll believe him.
Something tells me that you're right about that.
You don't seem quite... Why are you sounding so suspicious, Maddie? Come on, I know you.
It's just strange nights here recently, Mose. It's just been really strange nights. It's not suspicion, it's suspicion. And I try to stifle an embarrassed chuckle that I got read through that well. My guard is obviously down when it should be up. What are you looking to get out of this? Why are you here?
Okay, call me a cynic, a slave to the dollar, if you have to. But my poems go down a lot better with an all-black audience than trying to speak above the band or try to appeal to a friendly white fella with a couple of bucks in his pocket. Usually, when King David's done, I can take the stage before the band's warmed up. I can belt out a few of the best ones, and I can end up with a hat full of tips. That's not to say I don't believe in what he's saying. I do. And if I was like the rest of these guys, working down on the river or in one of the plants, I'd be along with them. Hell, if they organize a march on Manhattan or wherever, I will march with them. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be able to stop my legs from carrying me. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm mainly here for the dough.
Okay. That's actually not a terrible strategy for you, Mose, and my nose wrinkles with him. Hey, in all of his preaching and rallying and toe-calling to the line, has he mentioned anything about Jackson? Has that conversation been floating through here at all?
Well, funny you should mention. When I first got in, King David was just starting up, and he mentions that one of our brothers, the Jackson Elias, has been put in prison for a crime he did not commit. And more than that, he said, one of our members, one of the committee, was the victim found in Jackson's, where was it, the Chelsea?
What? Really?
Yeah, didn't you hear? I mean, they've kept the victim's name out of the press. They've not really been speaking about him at all. This is where I first heard about it. But yeah, if King David's right, the body they found, the person that they're saying Jackson killed, he's one of us.
Who? Oh, Mose, come on, don't film me now. Who?
He shrugs. It's just a man by the name of Hilton Adams. I mean,
Hilton. The fastest cross-reference in all of the notes that I have tried to digest it. We have collected the books and papers and testimonies and just shared the team. Does Hilton Adams or King David pop up anywhere in these 40,000 handouts that you've given us or conversations that we have so far?
Nowhere.
Hilton Adams. Okay. No, I didn't know that, Mose.
I don't know what it means. Listen, I don't know what it means. All I knew of Mr. Adams was he ran a small store, had a few employees, seemed to be a good guy, was close to real, true members of the committee. I mean, I'm just a hanger-on when it comes down to it, but I think Mr. Adams was a true believer, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah. And here's what King David's saying. He says, leaning over to you, conspiratorial. King David's saying, this is a NYPD operation. He's saying, the cops killed one of us, and they're making it look like one of us killed him, so they can just break up the whole group.
Okay.
Now, what do you make of that?
There's a lot to be made of that one, Mose. Hey, did Jackson ever come to this? Was he a known member of the committee? Had he been hanging around here listening to King David?
He came once or twice, but I don't think he was paying much attention to King David. He was in a conversation with, and he looks around.
My eyes immediately go to Kwame, just waiting for it to land there.
They don't land there, but he says, there was a guy here from the old country. His name was, Mukunga Mdari. Now, he's a usually pretty quiet guy, real intense. He's, big, muscular, looks like a giant. And only reason I know him is because he's usually in the company of, and he points at Nkwani, but I would guess that if Nkwani's here, Umdari must be back watching the store. Shelby and Felix, you have tooled up, as they say, and made your way to Ransom Court and the location of the Guju house, where, of course, Felix, you have been before. Question. Are you approaching via the alley in the same way as you did previously, or are you looking to access the building in some other fashion? I will remind you there is a building adjacent to it, which gave all the impression of being vacant. And, of course, while the courtyard is the main way of accessing it, that's where the front doors are, it is highly likely the store also backs onto another street or alley behind. That would be West 138th Street to the rear, and you would be accessing it via West 137th Street if you were going in through the front.
I'll look to Felix. You know more about these kinds of things than I do. Do you have any suggestions?
Not really. Not a lot of break-ins on the front, you know?
True, but you've protected people before, so I thought maybe you might know, like, how you would protect it and think around that, or whatever.
Well, the building next to it, it did seem to be vacated, right, or abandoned. Perhaps there's some way of using that to our advantage. Perhaps there's, well, some way of getting in through there. Maybe the buildings were connected before, or something to that nature. Shared basement.
We can give it a shot.
I look at the buildings again. I mean, is there any obvious connections between the two, or?
From outside, if you're stood... Well, here's the question, Maciej. Are you observing the buildings, and this is significant, from West 138th, which would be the rear of the Guju house, or are you accessing the courtyard, which gives you view of the front of both buildings? You cannot see the front of both buildings without accessing Ransom Court, which you get to via an alley. And then I will tell you all you need to know.
We have to be able to get a good view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have to get into the courtyard. Looking at it from behind might not tell us all that much.
Very well. Felix, for the two of you, I would like you to make a stealth roll. It is dark, of course, it is evening, and the court itself is not illuminated, so really all you're trying to do is avoid knocking over any of the debris that's been stacked in the corners along the walls and such, empty bottles and the like, in Ransom Court.
Absolutely. Well, fortunately I've invested some in stealth, so...
Shelby, do you have anything in stealth?
I have my default 20. I rolled a 19, though.
Oh! In that case, Felix... You can hold your roll if you like, but let's see how you go.
Well, I did roll a 15, which is a hard success under 44.
Fantastic. Excellent. In that case, I will give you a reward here, as both of you have succeeded. Felix, you are stalking up to the front of the Guju house, not dissimilar to a cat, leaving Shelby in the alley behind you. And your stealth gives you the opportunity to... well, interact with something you might not have ordinarily been able to. There is, just blocked by all the debris, a small drainage cover at the front of the building, the likes of which may lead down into a cellar, or likely a storm drain that runs around the building or out to the other side. Now, it is entirely up to you if you want to start sewer delving. It isn't necessarily what you want to do, but it is a possible route into or underneath both buildings. If there's a cellar here, you might be able to get from here to there. And what's more, Shelby, from your position hanging back, staying hidden while in the dark actually gives you the advantage to see any movement in the light. And while there isn't much movement, well, much light, I should say, while there isn't much light from the Guju house, if you recall, there's a great curtain that is draped over the front window. You do catch a glimpse of movement, a slight shadow. The shadow of what could well be a human being. Not walking backwards and forwards, just brushing past and then gone.
Let's be sure I heard that correctly. They're walking back and forth behind that curtain?
Not walking back and forth, just brushing past, and then the shadow is gone. So maybe someone approached the front window to adjust something, to move something, to put something in place, and has now disappeared again.
Okay, then I will carefully pull my pistol out, just to be ready in case someone does come through that window or come through the door while Felix is examining things.
Okay, Felix. You are, of course, unaware of this, because Shelby is all the way at the back of the courtyard, still standing in the alley, hidden. So, from your vantage, Felix, you're now right in front of the building, but low enough that someone on the other side of this curtain wouldn't be able to see your silhouette, given you succeeded so well on stealth. So there's a front door that could lead you into the Juju house. It's the one you took previously. There is the drain cover, which is either going to take you into a sewer or into a cellar of the Juju house. There is also the doors that are only partially boarded. There's 2 boards across the front of it to the store next door. From what you can see from the exterior, and you're no architect, but from what you can see, the building looks like it was built, it's built from the same material. There is no seam, which is to say, it was probably built as one and then divided down the middle.
There might potentially be a door in there somewhere, but most likely covered in that case. This drain cover, getting that open, is that something that would be possible to do without causing a lot of ruckus, or?
It isn't rusted shut. It looks like you could lift it. It is a manhole cover, effectively, but smaller than the kind of thing you'd find in the middle of the road. Fit only for, a very slim person to slide down or climb down the ladder. You would still need to make another stealth roll, or I would permit you a dex roll if your dex rating is better, to lift it without clanging anything or making the scrape of metal against stone, if that's what you want to do.
Would I think that I am slim enough to be able to get down there? Or that Shelby is?
Felix, you look at the drain cover, you look back at Shelby. You might be able to fit down there. You're pretty sure he wouldn't be. Too broad around the shoulders, we will say kindly.
Alright. Well, being the man of action that I am, I'll make a move for it then. Go for the drain cover. Try to get it open. See if I can make my way inside, and then perhaps find some way of opening up a window or something like that for Shelby to get in through.
Okay. Can I ask you then, Felix, to make a stealth or dexterity roll, whichever one is higher? I would usually give you some kind of bonus here, but as there is potentially someone on the other side of the window, not that you're aware of it, no bonus today.
Well, I like living dangerously. That was an 80, which would have been a failure, so I'm going to use a point of luck and try and re-roll it. Yeah, 11. That's an extreme success.
Yes, that is an excellent success. For a moment there, as you pull this manhole cover from its mooring, there is a slight scrape, and to you it sounds deafeningly loud. But then you find the rhythm, so to speak. You are able to ease it from the ground, one side and then the other, and it's that tilting motion that allows you to lift it and then place it again on the cobbles next to you soundlessly. And sure enough, there is a small passage. This isn't a drain at all. It looks like someone has repurposed a manhole cover. This is a coal chute, but it's been blocked up. Not blocked up to prevent someone from sliding down it, but someone has basically hammered a manhole cover or found a drain cover that would fit just to cover it, maybe to stop leaks or something like that. So, yeah, this is probably a way into a cellar rather than into a drain.
Well, that is good then. A cellar is exactly what I was looking for after all, and the idea of diving into excrement, well, yes, not exactly what I was looking forward to. So I will just make my move in there, trying to stay as quiet and as hidden as possible.
Okay, well, a coal hole does not have a ladder accompanying it, so you are simply sliding down. You could ease yourself down, you know. You can press your limbs against either side and climb down it, essentially. Shelby, you see Felix disappear into the ground. Are you holding back, or are you moving up to where he was? So far as you know, he isn't aware of the person in the store as you are.
I can see from where I'm standing that my shoulders are far too broad to fit down such a narrow escape, so I immediately discard the idea of following afterwards. I am going to hope that Felix has been around me enough to know that also I am a very large man, so therefore he had a reason to go in, so I'm going to keep an eye on that space, because my hope is that since Felix didn't notice whoever might be in the Juju house, that person in the Juju house maybe hasn't noticed me. So that if someone comes out of the house to try to follow after, I can be there to watch over that entry. But I'm also going to give Felix in my head about 5 to 10 minutes. And if I don't hear anything, I will then consider going after him.
Yes, indeed. Your position out here does provide you with the opportunity to give a distraction if you have any sense that something inside is going badly. You might be able to fire off the gun, although most people would run away from the sound of a gunshot. If there's someone suspect in there, they might run out to investigate who's firing off. But in the meantime then, Felix, you conclude your descent. It's only down one floor. You're not falling and falling and falling. It is approximately 15 feet before you get to the end. Not that you count them. You are in what appears to be a, broadly speaking, barricaded off old coal shed. Maybe at some point this building was used for a different purpose, or maybe just coal was delivered here so that Mr. Nkwani could light his fire on cold winter days in New York. But the place is filled with ash now. There is no coal, no lumps of coal to speak of. As you land on the ash, which is pretty comfortable as far as a cushion to fall onto, can I ask you to make a spot hidden? It's a hard spot hidden roll because it is very dark.
Then I don't make it. 37 under 40. It's just a regular success.
Okay, would you like to spend any luck?
You know, I won't do that. I'll just take this one.
So, the coal shed that you are currently sat in, getting increasingly covered with ash, is a wooden internal structure. So it would have divided this part of the cellar from the rest of it so that ash and coal wasn't constantly littering the floor. So you've got sturdy planks from floor to ceiling, a door which no doubt opens outward so that someone could then reach in, shovel the coal, close the door again. You can imagine the process. The door itself is certainly not locked from this side, though there is a voice that you hear. Oh, no listen roll required here.
You really want to play with death, don't you?
Sat in the ashes with you is Luis de Mendoza. He doesn't appear to be doing anything threatening. Other than the fact that he is existing, he is seated on a pile of ashes. His hands are clasped together on his lap. It seems inexplicable that he would have just slid down here with you, and certainly you didn't hear him, or be waiting here for you, and yet here he is.
What? I go for my gun immediately, knowing that this is a man who I shot before, and who has wanted me dead, seemingly, previously. Is this real?
He tilts his head and shows you the raw flesh where his hair has not regrown.
It takes some time, but I will be whole again.
What are you doing here? And I have the gun pointed towards him, ready to fire if he makes a move.
You know, if you fire that at me, death will come even quicker.
You think that you would come back if I empty my entire clip into you? We could try.
It is not me. It is not me who will deliver Il Morte to you. If you fire your gun at me right now, you know, when you slew that man, that good man, that vessel, that mouthpiece, my soul was fractured. I suffered such pain when you killed that good man. But, Herr Bauer, it was that fracturing, that weakening of me, that granting me a spark of life and humanity, that meant that when my brethren, my fellow conquistadors fell, I did not. I was not reduced to a rotting corpse. I remained, because I took him in me. Your sacrifice kept me alive. So thank you for the shedding of blood.
I see. Are you, going to try to stop me from doing what I'm here to do?
I could not stop you, Herr Bauer. I am not physically here. Do you think I would be physically here?
You're right.
No, I am elsewhere. But right now you are my salvation. And so until I am completely healed, I will look after you. And when I am completely healed, I will devour you so that you become part of me, just like Mr. Larkin.
I don't like the sound of that.
You'll become part of a greater whole, but it is not my role to act salesman to you. I am no merchant. This place, he says, gesturing, is a place of sacrifice, like the temple that Mr. Larkin wished for you to discover, which you did discover. And there are many like it around the world, all of them working to the same aim, and you take one link from the chain, it does not break the machine. It just increases the intensity of the process.
Are you saying that we shouldn't try to do anything?
He shrugs at that.
That acting against you will just backfire? Is that what you're saying?
I honestly do not care. I do not care if you break the machine or let it persist. Now my life is attached to you, not to it. But I suspect that if you do nothing, if nobody does anything, if the machine is permitted, if all the masks are created, and all the gods can wear them, then the end will come for this epoch of humanity. I suppose what you need to do is break every link before the process can be completed.
I find myself accepting this fact, however strange and impossible it is, because of what I've seen. Yes, I suppose that is what we will have to do. We'll have to fight until we can fight no more, try to destroy as many of these as we can. And then, when you are healed, you and I will face off and we'll see who leaves that meeting intact.
Yes. I knew you were a man of war, Herr Bauer. I knew it when you shot me. I knew it when you shot Larkin. I knew it when I consumed your brother. It is why he is no longer with you, Herr Bauer, because I have taken his place now.
Can I have him back?
No, he is gone.
I shake my head.
You should move, Herr Bauer. Time will not wait for you.
It won't. We're not done, is what I would like to say, but of course we're not, and you will come for me one day. So until then...
See, I will.
Well, look out for me until then, huh? Help me. That way, you'll get what you want.
Senor, I will do my best from where I am.
Oh. So where should I go? How do I get into the Juju house?
You are already in it, he says, looking up, left, right, down. You are where the most important part is, but you will not be able to conquer it alone. I can only perceive what you can perceive, and I can smell death here. You may have grown so used to it from the trenches, but I smell death here, fresh death. It smells like the pyramid. When you open that door, he says, gesturing with his head at the wooden door in front of you, and there are gaps in the slats, the wooden boards that divide you from the rest of the cellar, but you can't see anything through them from your current vantage. When you open that door, you will face death on a grand scale.
I understand. That is what I must do then. And I begin moving towards the door to do what I must do.
This exchange, while certainly feeling like it's taken minutes, in fact, as far as Shelby is concerned, were Shelby there to listen in, there was no conversation. This is all in Felix's head. That doesn't mean it's not real. Can I ask Felix to make a sanity roll?
That's a 90 over 65.
I would like for you to lose 1d6 plus 1 sanity. It's not staggering, but it is still significant. As far as you are concerned, Felix, this apparition of Luis de Mendoza is as real as when you saw him in Brazil, and as real as when you saw him in Peru. He is here, he is a part of your life, and there's no way he was destroyed when that thing in the pyramid was sealed away, and the rest of those fat-eating vampires crumbled. Somehow he persisted.
My heart sinks at that realization. How can I fight an enemy that can seemingly not die? How will I ever be able to survive this? But maybe I don't have to. Maybe it's not about my survival, it's about everyone else. Right? I just need to do my duty. That's what I have to do. I'm already dead after all. I died a long time ago. I accepted that. Been living on borrowed time. I lose 3 sanity.
You heading for the door?
Yes. It's time.
For once, the door is not locked before you. It is neither locked nor blocked, nor do you need to make a strength roll to shift it. It is simply closed. It is an old iron ring, which is no doubt present on both sides, so you turn it and push the door outward. And now, Matthias, I need for you to make a luck roll to see what's on the other side.
That's a 35 under 63.
Felix steps out into the cellar beneath the Juju house. Shelby not a million miles away. Madelyn aware that her companions could be in great danger, for there is someone in this place. There may in fact be more than one individual in this place, but we will find out more in our next session of Masks of Nyarlathotep. Thank you very much for listening.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play Masks of Nyarlathotep for Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Joining us as our keeper is none other than our dear friend Matthew Dawkins, and we were also joined by Bridgett, Jeffries, and Eddy Webb. The music was made by Agersonus and Halgrath, and we've also used Cryochamber's Lovecraftian compilation albums. All of this with the permission of Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Graham Barey, Doug Thomson, Lily, Maciej, Black Templar, Dennis Sadecki, and Leonhardt for their generous support. We would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, this show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of the Lost, Call of Cthulhu, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and Warhammer 40k Imperium Maledictum there. And you can also get early and raw access to all of our recordings, and hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as even play some Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember, I am the last. I will tell the audient void.